So good afternoon, everyone.
Good
Good
afternoon, sir.
afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Okay. So last class we discussed grades and dosages of movement. So there are two techniques are there: graded oscillatory technique and sustained joint translatory joint play technique. So we discussed first technique, graded oscillatory technique. Now we are going to discuss graded. See, this is graded oscillatory technique. है ना? If you remember one grade 1, 2, 3, and 4. And this point also we discussed. Oscillations may be performed using both physiological motion and joint play technique. And uses we will discuss later. So now we will be discussing sustained translatory joint play technique. Sustained joint play translatory joint play technique is otherwise called as, if you remember last class we discussed, sorry, this is Maitland technique. This one is Maitland technique, that is graded oscillatory technique is otherwise called as Maitland technique. So what is this one is? Sustained translatory joint play technique. Other name for sustained translatory joint play technique is Carlton bond technique. So it is adapted from Carlton bond, and this one is adapted from Maitland. Yes. So this technique is otherwise called as Carlton bond technique or sustained translatory joint play technique. So first you should know what is the about the what technique. Clear? So there are three grades are there here. In sustained translatory joint play technique, there are three grades are there. And graded oscillatory technique, there are four grades are there. Clear? So now we are going to study the second technique, that is sustained translatory joint play technique. Now you don't confuse with the previous technique. Clear? Now we will be studying this separately. Clear? Sustained translatory joint play technique. Both are different. Both are not the same. They are different. Clear? What is grade one? If you see the diagram, you can notice that the arrow is in only single direction. Right? The direction of the arrow is unidirectional. In sustained translatory joint play technique, it is unidirectional. But in graded oscillatory technique, if you see, it is bidirectional. It is both directions. It is an oscillatory technique. Oscillation means it has two directions. But here it is sustained translatory joint play. That is, you are moving the joint or moving the part of the limb in only one direction. Yeah, that is the major difference here. And first difference is it is 4 grades and it is here it is 3 grades. Second is it is oscillatory technique, it is a sustained translatory technique. Yeah. And what is grade 1? And these lines remain same. This line, as I have discussed in first lecture, One is the beginning of the range, two is the tissue resistance, and three is the anatomical limit. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the two, the line two, it may vary depending upon patient. So with this we already discussed, but still enough, I will small. I'll brief it. This is 0 degree. This is patient A. 0 degree, and this is 180 degree. If we take an abduction as an example, and if this is the tissue resistance, then approximately the available range will be 90 degree. Then patient B. Patient B. Now, if you take this as 0 degree and this as 180 degree, if this line represents 0 and other line represents 180, suppose if range of motion is suppose the tissue resistance line is somewhere here, range may be 120 degree. This is patient B. And third example, one more example I'll give. This is patient C. If this is 0 degree and this is 180 degree, and if this is the second line, maybe 45 degree or 50 degree. Available range. This is called available range of motion. Here, this is called available range of motion. And here, this is called available range of motion. Why the available range of motion is reduced? Because joint play is reduced. Why joint play is reduced? Because joint capsule is tight. If capsule is tight, then the joint will not move properly. Here, if this is glenoid cavity and this is humerus, here, and if this is joint capsule, here, imagine here the capsule is tight. This is called inferior capsule. Suppose inferior capsule is tight. Which range will be restricted? Anyone can answer? Which range will be restricted if inferior capsule is tight? Which range will be affected? Yes. Yes. Any answer? Option is abduction, adduction, flexion, extension. Which one is right?
Abduction, sir.
Yes, abduction is right. What happened to others? If suppose if a person is doing abduction, here the inferior capsule, joint capsule is tight. So a person cannot do abduction. So what is your aim? What is your aim? So you know, if you want to increase abduction, inferior glide should occur. Inferior glide should occur as per concave convex rule. Because here it is tight, inferior glide is restricted. Again, I'll explain you. Inferior capsule is tight. If inferior capsule is tight, what will happen? For abduction, what glide should occur? Inferior glide should occur. Because here it is tight, so what is restricted? Inferior glide is restricted. If inferior glide is restricted, then abduction range will be restricted. Are you clear with this sentence?
Yes, sir.
So what should be your aim? Your okay, this person, imagine, so what will be the range? It will be 90 degree. Why? Because joint capsule here it is tight. So abduction is restricted to 90 degree. Now, what is your aim? What will be your aim? So in this diagram, Where is that diagram? 90 degree. This one. I'll remove all these things. So this is the example we have taken now. Clear? So 90 degree. Why 90 degree restricted? Because capsule is tight. Already last class we discussed range of motion will be restricted because of two reasons. One is because of pain, other is because of capsular tightness. So here in this case range of motion is restricted because of capsule tightness. So what is your aim? Your aim is to increase the range of motion. So either you give physiological movement, that is last class we discussed. Here oscillations may be performed using physiological motions. So here how you will increase the physiological motion, that is you will use, suppose if this is 0 degree and this is 90 degree, clear, this is 0 90 degree, this is available range. What is grade 1? This is grade 1, small amplitude rhythmic oscillation perform physiological movement, that is last class I have demonstrated passive movement. Small amplitude rhythmic oscillation performed in the beginning of range. And if you are doing the passive movement or oscillatory movement is this range, it is grade 2. And if you are doing in this range and stress into the tissue resistance, it is grade 3. And if you are moving the joint or moving the arm, that is small amplitude rhythmic oscillation performed at the end of the range and stressed into the tissue resistance. You are slightly crossing the 90 degrees. This is grade 4. What is this? This one is using physiological motions. So now how you will do the second technique, that is oscillatory technique. How we will do oscillatory technique? Here, this diagram. So when you are gliding, so this is grade 1 and this is grade 2 and here it is grade 3 and here it is grade 4. Here, if you oscillate or if you glide the joint in the beginning of range, it is grade 1 technique. Which one? Now this is second technique, joint play technique. And this is grade 2, this is grade 3 and this is grade 4. I think you are clear. So this is graded oscillatory technique. Sustained translatory joint play technique. Now what you are doing, same example we will take. But here it is 120 degrees. What is grade 1? Grade 1 is this is joint capsule. Here. So you are separating the joint in this direction, that is perpendicular to the treatment plane. You are distracting. This is called a distraction. And this is called traction. You already know. When you separate the joint perpendicular to the treatment plane, it is called distraction. So what is grade 1? You see, now we will see the definition. What is grade 1? Small amplitude distraction is applied where no stress is placed on the capsule. So what you are doing, you are separating the joint or you are distracting the joint. How you will distract? Distraction always it is perpendicular to treatment plane. So what is treatment plane here? This is glenoid cavity and this is humerus. If you study the definition of treatment plane, it is a line, perpendicular line drawn to the what? Axis of rotation to the center of the concave partner. Do you know the definition of treatment plane? Anyone? First you should know what is treatment plane. Hello? Are you there? Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
So what is treatment plane definition? Treatment plane definition. Oh God. See, this is axis of rotation. Here, axis of rotation always lying in the convex partner. This is convex and this is concave. Clear? So what is treatment plane? Listen carefully. It is a perpendicular line. It is a perpendicular line. I'll give another color. It is a perpendicular line drawn. It is a line drawn perpendicular to the line connecting axis of rotation and center of the concave partner. Again, I'll repeat. What you have studied, this is point A is axis of rotation. This is point B. What is point B? It is center of concave part. Either suppose if you take this as a concave and this is center point. Clear? So this is point B. So now what you are doing, you are connecting both the line, both the point. You are connecting point A and B. What is A? A is axis of rotation. And what is B? Center of concave partner. Now, you are drawing a line perpendicular to this line. You are drawing one more line. This is line 1. And what is line 2? This is the line 2. And these two lines are perpendicular. Yes. So this line is called as treatment plane. I'll give one more example. If you don't know treatment plane, then how you will manage? See, okay. One more diagram I will explain. This is femur. Clear? And this is tibia. Clear? So now where is treatment plane? How we will draw the treatment plane? First, I will take one point, axis of rotation. This is A. And what is second point? A midpoint of concave partner. This is B. So I will connect these two lines. Now what is second line? I will draw another line perpendicular to line 1. This line. This is another line. So this line is called as treatment plane. Are you clear?
Yes, sir.
This is important short note. Okay. I will show one more diagram. Last, because I'll make sure you understand this. Now this is, what is the position of the knee? It is extended position. It is in extended position, 0 degree. Imagine Now the knee is flexed. Imagine the knee is flexed now, partially flexed. Clear? So now how we will draw the treatment plan. Listen carefully. What is one line? One, the axis will be same, and this is now midpoint. Now this is the line. Now you see the treatment plane. Now when you draw the line, perpendicular line, the line will be like this. Now you see the diagram 1 and 2. 1 and 2. Treatment plane is changed or it remains same. It is changed or remains same. Position of treatment plane. Yes. Come on.
Changed.
Oh, it is changed now. You see, previously it is in this direction. Now it is in this direction. It is changed. In the first diagram, it is parallel. Here it is slightly tilted. Where कहाँ पे change same है? It is different. Are you clear or not? Come on, yes. Okay. Second example. Oh, you don't know the basic concept. Okay. So here, when the con, this is concave bone or convex bone? Yes. Can you hear me?
Concave.
Concave bone.
Concave.
When concave bone is moving, what will happen? The treatment plane will be changed. Treatment plane will change. Clear? So here, which bone is fixed? Convex bone is fixed. In both the condition, convex bone is fixed. Concave bone is moving. So treatment plane will also move because treatment plane always lies in concave partner. This is important point you should remember. Treatment plane always lies in concave partner. Whenever concave bone is moving, treatment plane will also move. Clear? This is already given somewhere in your book. You have not seen it. ये देखो. You have not seen this page? See, treatment plane, you read this. Treatment plane is right angle. This is treatment plane. Is a right angle to the line. Which line? This line. Treatment plane, that is blue color, is right angle to the line. This is red color. Red. Treatment plane is blue color. And the line which is mentioned is red color. Treatment plane is right angle to the second line. So that second line, how it is drawn? Second line is drawn from axis of rotation to the center of the concave articulating surface and always lies in the concave surface. Which is concave? This is concave surface. So हमेशा ट्रीटमेंट प्लेन है कॉन्केव सरफेस के साथ ही रहता है. Always the treatment plane lies in the concave partner. Are you clear what I am saying? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now I will give two examples. Here concave bone is fixed, convex bone is moving. You can take an example, shoulder joint. Clear? And one more example. Here, opposite. Convex bone is fixed. This is what bone? Concave bone. Opposite. Now concave bone is moving. This is example for knee. This is example for shoulder. Now we will discuss into mark represent. It means it is fixed. Cross mark means it is fixed. Here concave bone is fixed. Here convex bone is fixed. Are you clear with this example? Yes, come on, fast.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So now in both the diagram, I am going to draw treatment plane. What is treatment plane? First you will draw one line and then you will draw another line perpendicular to this line. So this red color line is called as treatment plane. Now here in this diagram, how we will draw treatment plane here? One point you will take midpoint of, axis of rotation. Second you will take midpoint of concave bone and you will join this line. Now what you will do? You will draw the perpendicular line to this first line. So this is perpendicular line. Now this line is called as treatment plane. Are you clear till now? Yes?
Yes, sir.
So now you listen carefully. Second diagram I am drawing. Now the bone has moved. Which bone? Convex bone is moved. Convex bone is now moved because this is fixed. Convex bone is moved. And in second diagram, concave bone is moved because this is fixed. Clear? Now you see what happens to the treatment plane. How now I am drawing treatment plane. So this is axis of rotation. This is center of concave partner and I am joining these two lines. Now I am drawing treatment plane. I am drawing perpendicular to this line. Clear? This is treatment plane. Treatment plane, here it is same. See, it has not changed. Is it changed? See, both are vertical. So treatment plane is not changed in example A. Now you see here, second diagram. This is axis of rotation. This is center of concave partner. Now I am joining this line. Now I am drawing treatment plane. Clear? This is treatment plane. Now you see the position of treatment plane is changed. Previously it was in this direction. Now it is changed. The treatment plane has been changed. So what does it mean? इसका मतलब क्या है? जब भी कॉन्केव बोन मूव होता है, along with concave bone. Again, repeat the sentence. Whenever the concave bone is moving, treatment plane will also move. In other language or in other words, treatment plane is at right angle to the line drawn from the axis of rotation to the center of the concave articulating surface and lies in concave surface. Treatment plane lies in concave surface, not convex. Clear? It always lies in the concave. As the concave bone is moving, treatment plane will also move. Are you clear with this example? Yes?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So what? Okay. Well, I was teaching you distraction. I left the topic. Grade 1. What is grade 1? Small amplitude distraction applied where no stress is placed on the capsule. What is distraction? Distraction distraction is applied perpendicular to treatment plane. This was the purpose I I was distracted. Distraction means it is applied perpendicular to the treatment plane. And what is gliding? Gliding is applied parallel to treatment plane. This is rule number 1 and this is rule number 2. Always distraction should be applied perpendicular to the treatment plane. Gliding should be applied parallel to the treatment plane. First of all, you should know what is treatment plane. Yes. So now in this diagram, this is called, if you apply distraction, if you separate the joint in this direction, it is called a distraction. Clear? When you glide the joint in this direction, it is called gliding because it is parallel. It is parallel to the treatment plane. Clear? Whenever you are giving gliding to the joint, listen carefully. This is gliding. It should be parallel to the treatment plane. Clear? Here, In the second example, B, this is gliding. Gliding should be given. This is called posterior gliding, and this is called anterior gliding. See, it is parallel. Clear? So green color is gliding. Gliding should be always here. Gliding should be applied parallel to the treatment plane. Rule number 2. See, gliding should be applied parallel to the treatment plane. Either it may be, this is called posterior gliding, this is called anterior gliding. It should be parallel. Okay. Then what is distraction? Distraction is, this is distraction, perpendicular to the treatment plane. In this example, this is called distraction. If you separate the joint in this direction, it is called distraction. Why distraction? Because it is perpendicular to the treatment plane. Are you clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now in this diagram, you can see what I have told. See the gliding and distraction. This is treatment plane. See, gliding is applied parallel to the treatment plane. This one is concave bone you are gliding, and here convex bone you are gliding. But it is parallel to the treatment plane. Clear? And see the distraction. This is distraction. Because you are applying perpendicular to the treatment plane. Yeah. So you should know first this basic before understanding these points. Now you listen. Small amplitude distraction. Distraction means you will apply perpendicular to the treatment plane. Small amplitude distraction is applied where no stress is placed on the capsule. Imagine this is glenoid cavity, this is humerus, this is joint capsule. Now this is treatment plane, this is treatment plane, and what does the definition says? Definition says small amplitude distraction. Already I have told distraction should be applied in this direction. Why? Because it is perpendicular to the treatment plane. And this distraction should be small amplitude. What is small amplitude? You will give small distraction. This is called grade 1 sustained joint translatory joint plate technique. Grade 1 distraction means it is otherwise called loosen. Clear? What is second grade? Enough distraction or glide is applied to tighten the tissue around the joint, which means, see, imagine, I'll make it little more clear. Now in the second example, this is glenoid cavity and this is humerus. This is treatment plane, and here the joint capsule is lax. टाइट नहीं है, यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा lax है. So I have given two examples. In example A, the capsule is tight. In example B, capsule is loose or it is lax. Clear? Now, when you give distraction, which will come, which will allow easily to distract, A or B? Such a simple question. Which will allow you to distract more, A or B? Can you hear me? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Tell me the answer. Here capsule is tight. Here capsule is lax. Which one will allow you to distract more? A or B?
Sir, B.
B. Because here the capsule is lax. Why so much time you are taking to give this simple answer? Okay. So what is grade 1 when you are distracting? So I'll take this example out. So I am giving distraction grade 1 where you will not feel any stress in the capsule. Yes. So this is called grade 1 distraction. Now what is grade 2? Enough distraction or glide applied to tighten the tissue around the joint. That is, it is little it is little far, or you will pull little, or you will separate little more. Yeah, this is called grade 2 distraction where you can feel the stretch. Therapist, we can feel the stretch. When you are separating the joint, you will feel the stretch. You will feel the restriction. You will feel the tightness of the capsule. You therapist will feel the stretch. That is called, sorry, this is grade 3. I'm talking grade 2. Now it will be tight. When you are stretching the joint or when you are distracting the joint, you will feel the tightness of the capsule. So वहां तक आपको distract करना है. You will distract the joint till you feel the tightness of the capsule. That is called grade 2 distraction. Yes. This is the diagram explained here. So here, what is 2, number 2? What does this line represent? Tissue resistance. Yeah. So what is grade 1 distraction? You will distract the joint. That is small distraction. What is second? Enough distraction. That is, you will stretch till you feel the resistance. Or you will separate the joint. You will just distract the joint and keep it for a few seconds. You hold it, hold the distraction. Yeah, this is grade 2 distraction. And what is grade 3? Distraction or glide is applied. That is, you are separating the joint or you are distracting the joint in such a way that, clear, it places the stretch. It places the stretch on the joint capsule. So if you want to stretch the joint capsule, yes, obviously you have to cross the limit. You have to cross the tissue resistance. So now you see grade 3 is, it is crossing the tissue resistance. Clear? So that is why it is called as what stretch? Again, I'll read it. Distraction or glide is applied with an amplitude large enough to place stretch on the joint capsule. Clear? So it is just a distraction. So what is sustained translatory joint play technique? Sustained joint translatory joint play technique is nothing but a unidirectional distraction. Unidirectional distraction. What is distraction? We already discussed. Separating the joint perpendicular to treatment plane is called as distraction. So what is sustained? I'll conclude the lecture. What is sustained translatory joint play technique? There are three grades are there. Grade 1, grade 2, grade 3. It is a unidirectional distraction. So grade, it depends on the intensity of distraction. If you are giving small amplitude distraction, it is called grade 1. Here, there is no stress placed in the capsule. कैप्सूल में कोई स्ट्रेच नहीं आएगा. क्यों? Because you are not crossing the limit. This is the limit. You are not reaching the limit. So there will be no stress in the capsule. No stress in the capsule because the distraction is very small. And what is second? This is small amplitude distraction. Second is enough distraction. So enough distraction, you are applying distraction so that the tissues are just becoming tight. Here, you are in Maitland, it is called as up to slack. Up to slack. Clear? Okay. You are distracting the joint up to the limit. Till where you feel resistance, you are distracting, or you are separating the joint. It is called as grade 2. And what is 3? Here also you are doing distraction, but it is large enough. And here there is stretch in the joint capsule. Are you clear? Only 3 points you should remember here. One is small amplitude distraction. Second is enough distraction. Third is large enough distraction. Clear? And what is distraction? We already discussed. Any doubt? Are you clear with this lecture? Yes or no? Hello? Have you understood? Yes or no? Anyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Wait for